All right, what's up? 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 Get into the whole shirt. Let me lean back a little bit so y'all can see. I don't want to chop my head off. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Live London episode 234. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk. And I think this title resonates so much over these last 7 days. I'm just gonna say the last 7 days at this point, or even maybe more so like 10 days or whatnot. But as y'all come on in, let me know that you're here. Share this stream out. Let your folks know you watching, and they should be watching too. Live on episode 234. All skin folk ain't your kin folk. What up, Rob? What up, Stan? What up, K Rob? What up, Dez? What up, Diamond? What up, Sade? What up, HQD? What up, Corey? What up, Mama Mash? I see you. I see you. I see you. We got a lot to discuss tonight. What up, Cortavius? What up, Kyrie? As y'all coming on in, go ahead and share this stream out right now. If you have not shared it, share this stream right now so your folks know that you watching. They should be watching too. We're going to talk about these skin folk who really ain't our kinfolk. And we got a lot of them. It's a whole list. The whole first half of the show is pretty much dedicated to that. But y'all know I like to kick things off. What up, Chris Jean? Little title and artist. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to recite the lyrics to a song. And it's your opportunity, it's your job to jump into the comments and drop the title of the song and the artist who the song belongs to. What up, Clarence? So here we go. Like here it go. All right. Don't give up and don't give in. Although it seems you never win. Give me a sec. You will always pass the test as long as you keep your head to the sky. Now this one I feel like is a little easy. I'm gonna say it one more time though, real quick. What up, Shannon? Don't give up and don't give in. Although it seems you never win, you will always pass the test as long as you keep your head to the sky. So if you know the lyrics to that song, go ahead and drop the title and the artist who the song belongs to in the comments so we can give you a quick shout out for winning title and artist this week. But let's go ahead and just get into things. I think the whole how are you feeling, how you doing, how are you today has reached a level of we have to be honest and let our family, our friends, our colleagues, strangers on the street, strangers in the stores, the grocery stores, wherever we're going, and just be honest with how we feeling. It's so much going on across not only our nation, but just around the world as a whole. And I think now is the opportune time, and I'll get into it a little bit later while I'm saying this, but just to be completely honest and authentically yourself, because we just can't say we're okay no more. We can't just and say, I'm doing well, I'm doing good. You know, our go-to words. If somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm going to let them know fully how I'm doing. Whether they really wanted my full answer or not, I'm going to let them know. What up, Shonda? What up, Michelle Young? So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. I want to know how y'all are feeling too. Go ahead and drop some emojis or drop a few words of like, if you could, even if it's just one word of how you're feeling, an adjective to describe how you're feeling, drop it into the comments as well. What up, cuz, Shamika? But let's go ahead and get into a little bit more information around George Floyd. I saw a video of his daughter and her mom, and I just like when he was calling for his mom when the cops, had his knee in his neck. I choked up. I choked up watching this too, and so I want to go ahead and play this for y'all so y'all can see what it does look like. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Joan, my homegirl. She made a very thoughtful post today about what it looks like once all of this settles and things change, and there's still people who are going to be affected by George Floyd no longer being here. And here's proof of that right here.
I don't have a lot to say because I can't get my words together right now. But I wanted everybody to know that this is what those officers took from. At the end of the day, they get to go home and be with their families. Shiana does not have a father. He will never see her grow up, graduate. He will never walk her down the aisle. If it's a problem she's having and she needs her dad, she does not have that anymore.
Keep those comments coming in. Let me know how you're feeling as well. Also, I see a few have come in. Rob says he's alive. Clarence says barely making it. Corey says drained but prayerful. That is so real. Thank y'all for writing in. Let me know. And of course, y'all know I'm praying for all of y'all, my friends, my family, my live and viewers. I really do appreciate y'all. But just there was a part 2 to that video, but I decided to only play one and then play this one. But what she was saying was George was a good man. He was a good man, and this is proof. And she pointed to her daughter saying, this is proof of him being a good man. But check out this video that I pulled from IG that someone found earlier of George speaking life into people and just motivating them.
So, Big Floyd, man, he said, man, I'm back at it, man. Workout game, getting back on up, man. You know, I went through some things, man. Had to bounce back, man. I'm just sharing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, people quick to count you out, man, but just so strict on counting you in. You know? One thing about old Floyd, man, I love the world. I ain't putting on ask anybody that know me, then they know me. You know, because, like, people be acting like they be scared to embrace God, worrying about what the next man gonna say and all that. Man, you better get down. Know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't here to show out and all that. You know, this here just to motivate somebody who want to work out that might need it or whatever you're going through, man. Man, don't let Instagram fool you, man, and get you depressed looking at what other people doing and all that, man. I love you, man. Big Floyd, kill your own family. I'm go.
Just in seeing this video, it really just spoke to his character, and even for me, hearing him talk, he reminded me of anybody from my hometown. Whether it's a family member, somebody I knew by association, from the area that I used to even work in. He sounded like just somebody that is from my own hometown. So hearing him talk and seeing this video of him trying to encourage people and motivate them and remind them, don't look at what other people got going on and still do you type situation. Like, he sounded like somebody from my hood. And so for me, it just even much more puts like the emotion behind why we're going through all that we're going through. Again, I didn't personally know him. Of course, many of you probably did not know him personally as well. But this situation here is definitely been to change the world. And this message from his daughter, this video was released earlier as well. And I'm like, this is so spot on.
He did what?
Daddy changed the world.
And Gianna's message, but Daddy changed the world, is so true. Like, these protests that are taking place, which we're going to get into in a minute, aren't just happening here in our nation, in our country. They're happening across the world. I mean, Iran and Paris and just all over. So it's bigger than just the United States. Like, it's a worldwide situation where we all realize that this is a human race issue. And let's get into these protests. And I really am. I'm fighting. I'm doing my best to hold back from calling certain people out that are in my life that I consider people who are close to me, that I would consider friends, who I have not seen, who are non-people of color, who I have not seen say anything regarding what's happening, but they're still posting. And it's not to say that they're not good people, but you know what? Let me keep going through this, and we're gonna get to it, because it's just certain things that I'm like, I see you. I see you, and they might not even watch this show. They might not even know about this show. And I'm gonna do my best not to call no individuals out, because it's about 3 of them that I'm thinking about right now. But let me just keep moving the show. I'm seeing some more comments coming through saying overwhelmed. What up, Lloyd? What up, Brianna? What up, Meg? What up, Melissa? What up, Gordon? I see Gordon is in here being messy, but I'm gonna keep it moving. But let's get to these protests. I'm seeing where it says, why are y'all acting like these protests are only for George Floyd? No, George was the tip of the fucking iceberg. These protests are about every single life taken by police and racist people. You know, with George's case, I think it was blatant. Y'all, he murdered this man. He was saying he could not breathe, and he was locking him up or arresting him because of counterfeit money or forged checks, whatever it was. Whatever it was did not constitute his death. With Ahmaud Arbery, I mean, I'm talking about this is like a 4 months time frame. Ahmaud Arbery was gunned down while jogging, out for a jog in a neighborhood, because he looked like he might have been robbing houses, or there had been suspicious activity going on. People were getting robbed. Like, what? Like, in that case, is going down tomorrow, and I will be watching the news and waiting to see the notifications come through for that. But in addition to what this young Princess Abrisha wrote on Twitter, let's get into this. Black Politics says vocal about the looting, silent about the murder. I see y'all. And even for those who are being also silent about the looting and still being silent about the murder, again, I see that too. I'm sorry, this is a worldwide situation, but it's definitely our nation, our country. And if you are playing, no one is that disconnected from reality to where you don't have an opinion or that you don't know that this is going on. You just cannot be. I don't care how little or how much money you get. There's nobody that disconnected from reality and what's going on in and around their world. I'm seeing what Corey says, call them out. What up, Killer Cam? Dad says there's no, but London, call them out. Silence is compliance to the shit. Gordon says I'm bringing light to the situation. Yeah, Gordon. But moving along too, I want to also play this because it's not just the non-people of color, right, that I'm looking at sideways. I'm also looking at, like this tweet says from Jesse the Chef, why y'all burning down massive stuff? He good to us. This was some of y'all sound like too when it's like y'all are almost as if saying like y'all shouldn't be looting. People are mad, and you cannot tell people how to process how they feel and decide what they choose to do while they're out protesting. And if looting is an effect to it, oh well. Like if looting happens after they've been out protesting because they still mad and they feel like nothing get resolved, then so be it. That's just almost how like I hate that small businesses, especially small black-owned businesses, are being affected by that. But a Target, I don't give about a Target, Macy's, any of the boutiques and shops at Phipps Plaza or Lenox Mall. They got insurance. They got insurance, and it's just that simple. So speaking of, I want to go ahead and also show this. I saw this sign: Black people have every right to burn down a country they built for free. Any questions? I'll wait. I'm gonna wait. I see the comments are still going through, y'all. What up, Diana? What up, Wanisha? What up, Ashley? And if you're just not joining again, share this stream. I'll show people know that you're watching. They should be watching too. But you cannot tell people how to process their feelings. I'm sorry. That's just my stance on that. You just can't. Corey says, what up, Josh? Corey says, time out to be silent. Speak loud and be proud. We have been silent for too long. And that's so true. But I want to really get to this video right here. Tamika Mallory. She is speaking some truth. It's a little long, and I even edited it down. But everything I could not edit it down any further. I'm like, everything she's saying needs to be heard. So again, if you have not shared this stream out yet, share this stream right now and let your people know you're watching, and they should be watching too.
People who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target. Because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
What up, Diamond? What up, Tamisha? Like, what up, Celie? What up, Drew? Everything she said was just so, it just hit home, and it was just so, again, like, powerful. I don't have Killer Mike's. If you haven't seen Killer Mike's words at the press conference last Friday here in Atlanta, Google it. Go to YouTube. But this right here, what Tamika was saying, it was just so real. It's so real. Like, y'all looted up. Y'all looted us. Y'all looted us. You uprooted us from Africa. You know what I'm saying? And then you stole this country, this land from the Native Americans. And now you want to come at us for looting when we learned this from you. We learned it from you. So y'all gotta change. Y'all lead the way, and whoever that y'all is, and y'all can say whoever y'all is. And that's just that. But I don't even think I have to say anything else after what Tamika said regarding that, because I can't even follow her up. I can't do that. But what I want to also drop is even this regarding these protests where Queens B. Sav wrote MLK was assassinated and 110 American cities started rioting, causing $47 million in damage. And on the sixth day of the riots, the Civil Rights Act of 1968, not to be confused with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, was passed. Literally, MLK passed or was murdered, on April 4th, 1968, and this Civil Rights Act passed on April 11th. So after 6 days of it, that's when the Civil Rights Act of 68 passed. Now, in addition to that, what Tamika was saying regarding arrest these cops, arrest them. This just came out today by Amy Klobuchar. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is increasing charges against Derek, however you say his last name, to second degree in George Floyd's murder, and is also charging the other 3 officers. This is another important step for injustice. So you're not going to tell me that these protests aren't working. The protests are working. Now, however you choose to decide to be involved and get into it is up to you, and we'll get into that also later on in the show. But there are changes being made. Enough is enough, and no more. Absolutely no more. Now let's go ahead and get into something else that really just disturbed my people. So again, to where all skin folk ain't your kinfolk. Let's get into it. And again, if you have not already done so, share this stream out. Let your family and friends know that you are tuned in for Live Alone episode 234, and they should be tuned in too, because we have a lot to say. This isn't like a comical show this time. Like I have no real lightness to give or to make y'all laugh. I'm just spitting like how I feel and I think how we all feel. I'm trying to watch the comments as they're coming through too. I see Dad saying the museums y'all like so much. Y'all paid for those artifacts? Nah, y'all looted them. Exactly, Dad. Exactly. Keep engaging in the comments, y'all. I'm sorry I can't read it because they're flying through so quickly. But it disturbed I was on the phone with my sister on Monday when I learned of these 2 college students, Morehouse and Spelman students, Tanaya Pilgrim and Messiah Young, who literally were excessive force was used on them. And I can't even play the video. I'm not going to play the video because it's a little long as well, but I'm sure y'all have seen it. They have been on a press tour junket for the last 3 days or so. They were even on CNN and Good Morning America this morning while I was running on the treadmill. But I just want to point to this young woman's face right here, Tanaya Pilgrim. I want y'all to take a look. I got 5 different pictures. And if you would have heard what she said on, I believe it was Monday, when she was talking, they were addressing the Atlanta community. She called out the specific, or she said, especially this particular, I want to say it was Jones, I'm not sure, but she named a specific officer, and this is the same look she gave the camera when she said his name. Check this out. Now watch, Messiah's face is going to change. Hers isn't. Same face. Stare them down. Stare them down. Because let them know how you feel. This is the look of a face of somebody who's tired. And if y'all, again, if you have not seen this video, you can go and watch it on your own. But this is the face of somebody who's like, I'm done playing with y'all. We done. They tased them like they were just trying to get home because of the whole curfew situation and all that. They were trying to get home. And he was even I think, got a fractured wrist or fractured arm and had to get 20-some stitches. They took him to the hospital to get stitched up and then still took him to jail. Took him to jail, has a record now. Has a record. So so the best part about that is, let me take that back, is the 6 Atlanta Police officers who were involved have all been terminated. This one at the top, right here, and then the one to the far, I guess that would be left of me, right, y'all? All right, if you're watching, right at the bottom with the beard. The 2 of them were the first ones who were like let go and be in charge or whatnot. So this is what I mean when I'm like, all skin folk ain't your kinfolk. And that's just, I was so shocked, but even more so disgusted watching that video and then learning that it was your own people. Your own people. Like, what were you trying to prove? Like, that video, y'all, they tased both of them. And the best thing about it, even too, with young Messiah, this young king, he tried to block and even, like, snatch the taser rods, whatever they're called, off of Tanaya. Like, It just makes no sense. The way they broke the window, slashed his tires, all kind of just nonsense. So I'm like, all these officers definitely should be dismissed and gone and lock them up. That's my lock them up. I believe you should lock all of them up too, just like you locking up all the ones in Minnesota, because that's what needs to happen from my lens, and that's my opinion. I don't care whether you black, white, orange, green, purple, yellow. That's what needs to happen. Because we have to police the police at this point. Now, moving along from there, when it comes down to people getting canceled, what up, Richna? What up, Ray? What up, Tamika? What up, Al? Yeah, I'm trying to watch these comments, but they're coming in too fast. They let the other cars. Yes, Miss Kelvin. They let the other cars pass and stopped. The black cop stopped me. Y'all, it's a picture, and I should have pulled that picture. I said, nah, I ain't even gonna do this. Where there's a non-person of color hanging out the window like, in the car in front of them. And you see the police swarming Messiah and Tanaya's car. Because somebody said they had a gun. What? Like, that ain't, we tired of that narrative. Come on now. But your own people. Your own people. Rob says, tase them twice from 2 different guns. Yep. Corey says, send them to jail and throw them in general population. Absolutely. Like, for real. Now, this next story that I want to talk about hurts me to even share because I'm like, I have stand for this. I consider her a big cousin in my head. But, Trina, sis, you about to be on the chopping block too. Like, I've been riding for you, even though Kai be y'all, Kai be going in on you, be reading you down. Even though she be reading from a script, the reads be reading you down. All right, you know, done called you all kind of yuck mouths and sourpuss, and I'm like, who Kaya thinks she talking to? But Trina, I guess Kaya might have knew all along, and it hurts me. So I was rooting for you, Trina. We all was rooting for you, and you go and say some stuff like this. When they were talking about the curfew that's going on in Miami, you know, Trick Daddy and her had their own showdown in Miami. Now, I don't listen to it, but you know, it is what it is. And they were talking about the curfew, and Trina says they need to make the curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's how I feel. Keep everybody off the streets. These animals off the streets that are running around in Miami-Dade County are acting like they have escaped from a zoo. Lock them up at 5 p.m. so the streets can be nice and clean. That's how I feel. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, it gets worse. Then she proceeds to say, I'm never scared regarding the police. I have my license and registration and insurance. I'm not scared. I know my rights. Yeah, well, I'm sure Messiah and Tanaya had their license and their registration and insurance as well. They both came and it shouldn't even matter because they're humans regardless, but they both came from well-bred families. They're both, again, being college educated, going to Morehouse and Spelman, you know, so they knew their rights too. And clearly, it could have ended completely different for the two of them. And they even said that when the officer snatched him out, it even got worse. To where the officer, when they were walking him down some alley, was punching Messiah all in his back. And saying, I will shoot you right now. I'll shoot you with their gun pointed at them. But that's what Trina got to say. And then she proceeds to say, the black lives that matter, right? The same black lives that are taken by the hands of other black people, those matter too, huh? We probably going to say it for another show in like 2 weeks. But people, again, all skin folk and Kinfolk, because when people make comments like this, that black on black crime and black community, y'all want to see these hands. That's what it sounds like. Y'all in a box. Y'all in a box. Because we're going to say it for it. We're going to get into it in probably like 2 more weeks. I don't even want to get into it right now. But just going to talk about what Trina's saying. And then lastly, she says this. So insensitive. We can't bring back nobody's life. I'm going to talk like Trina. We can't bring back nobody's lives that have been taken away, whether it was from the police or at the hands of another civilian. We cannot bring them back. This may be true, but hopefully they definitely won't be in vain, Trina. If we stand up and talk and stand up and say, like, no, we're not having this no more, they definitely won't have to be in vain. Gianna said it. Daddy changed the world. And as a celebrity, as somebody from Miami-Dade, as a person of color, as a female, as a minority, like all of these different things, for you to say that, it hurts. It really hurts. I would have expected this from somebody like, I can't even tell you who I would have expected this from, but Trina, not you, girl, not you. And so, of course, she gets on Twitter and starts trying to somewhat defend herself, but not really, saying, I'm at work and I'm motherfucking ready. You know, the problem is with some of y'all don't want to hear the truth. Well, y'all can be mad. Y'all should put that anger and frustration into doing something better instead of talking shit about people. And then her last one was, this isn't about me. I've done and I'm doing my part to leave. What are you doing? Yeah, what are you, like, Trina, like, I'm just so disappointed. Cancel the show. What up, Terry? What up, Leticia? Cancel the show. Like, cancel Trick and Trina show because we ain't checking for it. It's canceled in my book. It's going to be a lot of other things that are canceled too. We're going to get in the second half of the show. Again, thank y'all for rocking with your boy. I really do appreciate it. And if you have not done so already, share this stream out. Now, somebody who I madly respect and have loved since the days of my brother and me, and especially love to see her when she came as a character on Insecure, is Amanda Seales. I did not know she was so pro, but Amanda speaks her mind, and so when I heard she was going to be on The Real, I was like, how is this going to work? Because if Tamar was let go, I don't really see this working out for Amanda, because Amanda like speaks her mind and she does not hold back, right? So she said she's exiting from The Real because they didn't respect her black voice. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for y'all, and we'll get into it a little bit more afterwards.
So,
well, you know what
up,
happened
Kiana?
to me today.
yes, She has arrived.
I've arrived because my contract is up at The Real, and I did not renew it because it doesn't feel good to my soul to be at a place where I cannot speak to my people the way they need to be spoken to, and where the people who are speaking to me in disparaging ways are not being handled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a space where I can, as a full black woman, have my voice and my coworkers also have their voices, and where the people at the top are not respecting the necessity for black voices to be at the top too. So, you reach a point, like even when it just comes to Hollywood in general, you've seen me transform into a way that I just can't function in this place the same way.
Kiana,
I can't.
you funny.
They plant NYPs in my oil.
And the thing is, for me, it becomes a point.
Yeah, I agree with you too, Daz. Amanda definitely has like a degree, but you know what she said? I saw what she reads. She reads. She said, I know about things because I read, so don't ask me how I can help. Don't ask me how, I can XY. She's like, read a book, research and read. And I'm like, that's so real. She was like, I know so much about the Holocaust because I researched and read. Not to mention because she learned things in school, but so when it comes down to like African Americans, Black Americans, racism, and injustices. She said, I research and I read. And I encourage everybody to let's start doing that more and getting into it. Like, we have to. We can't not do it anymore. What do you say, Carisha? I'm reading through some of the comments. Jeannie Mae is annoying. So yeah, I think with her not being on that show anymore, I definitely have no interest in watching. Because to be quite frank, she was the reason why I even started watching a few episodes this season. Because Amanda was on it, so I knew it was gonna really be a real show. That's what I knew. And I think for me, I've encouraged so many graduates. I made lots of videos for this graduation season because everything's virtual, right? And in everyone, whether it was a Zoom graduation I was doing or just a video I submitted to like different organizations, I was always ending it by saying like, take up space, own all of who you are, don't dim your light, show up as your full self. And so I couldn't imagine going to work and being told by producers or directors or executives that I need to tone it down a little bit or not have as much as an opinion, when this is literally what our platform is supposed to be being used for us to have conversations and dialogue and for us to keep it real. But they ain't really want her to keep it real. So hats off to you, salute to you, Queen Amanda, because you did the right thing by being like, all money ain't the good money. I can make more money somewhere else, that's for sure. Now, this week was Spill with London. I'm going to keep it a little different. Again, if you're just not joining and have not shared the stream out, go ahead and share the stream out right now so your family and friends can tune in, because you watching episode 234 and they should be tuned in too. Because again, lots of stuff still to discuss in this second half of the show. But right now, I want for you to think for me. I want you to think into your past and even into your current of when you first realized that you were black. And that because you are black, you might be harassed. And it might not even also always be by the police. I want you to drop your age into the comments when you first realize, like, dang, I get treated differently. Drop it in the comments right now, because I can vividly remember when it was for me. So, quick story I'm going to share with y'all. Growing up, like, I'm bright still, technically. I'm light skinned. I'm teen light skinned or whatever. But I was super bright as a kid. Like, probably people thought I was mixed, laying all jokes aside. Maybe even like a little less than, like maybe borderline more so towards the white spectrum, right? And so I feel like I was always treated, I was the cute kid. I was this, I was that. So I was always treated like I felt like better than some of my peers. Truth be told, that's me as a almost 33-year-old man admitting that. Like, I feel like I definitely saw the difference with that whole light skin versus dark skin type situation, right? Oh, he's so cute. People used to do things for me that I didn't even ask for. I always wanted to take me and give me candy, all kind of things. And so, but when I was in 8th grade, there was a teacher who was out to get me, y'all, and it was, and I'm seeing, thank y'all, I'm seeing the comments coming in. So I was 13 years old. It was a science teacher, and she didn't have a certificate or a degree in science. She was an art teacher. That's what she was supposed to be. And I'm gonna call out Miss Cross. Don't know her first name, didn't know, but I can tell you what she looked like. And in my class, it was like Demeter, Leandria, Lovato, Quentin, like, just, that was the crew. That was black kids at LPA. It wasn't but so many of us there. But for some reason, she just stayed trying to harass me. I could never make more than a C in her class. Never could make more than a C. And all of a sudden, she just started harassing me. Like, one time she walked down the aisle and said I tried to trip her. That ain't even in my nature. Even as a 13-year-old, that was never in my, to cause somebody harm. There was even a time where she said that I was disrupting her class. Again, never even been in my nature to disrupt someone's class, right? To where she ended up calling my mom, right? Called my mom, got me in trouble. And I told mom, like, that's not true. It's not true. And to where literally 6 o'clock the next morning, my mom called Leandria Darden's mom, Miss Diane, on the phone and said, can I speak to your daughter? She told her what she needed to talk to her for. And she asked Nikki, was this and that true? Like, did London do X, Y, Z? And Nikki said, no, that didn't happen. I don't know why Miss Cross said that. So that day when I get to class, when I get to school, and we switched class at the time, I went to Miss Cresswell's class, and she tried to shine on me, and she says, "Is London, you better do such and such, or else, I would hate to have to listen in on one of those phone calls like I did yesterday." Ooh, hold up. So I ain't saying I wait till I got home. Told Mom, I said, Mom, did you know Miss Cresswell was on the phone too? Now my mom worked in customer service for Bell South at the time. If you have a third party on the line, you're supposed to let whoever you're on the phone with know that, right? So she was like, no. She was like, so you mean to tell me they both on the phone? I was like, yeah, they both was on the phone. She's like, okay, all right. So next thing happens later on, like the next week, another week go by, whatever the case may have been. We're in the cafeteria, and somebody blows up one of those sandwich bags and then pops it real loud. And my cousin, shout out to Stephanie get Miss Gaskin, was sitting at the teacher's desk table, because that's what she's a teacher. And Miss Cross was like, London, that was London. Again, I don't cause disruption where I go, right? Like, this, who I am now is even not even who I was, and I'm more quiet. And Stephanie immediately went back to her classroom and called my mom and said, you need to come out to LPA. Because she's out to get London for some reason, and I don't know why. You need to come out here to LPA. And my mom said, I'm on the way. And she sat in the principal's office waiting for her to come out, and where the secretary said, well, she's in the meeting. She was like, that's okay. She can stay in the meeting. I got plenty of time. I can sit here the rest of the day, because she got to walk out this door to go home, don't she? Then she gonna have to walk past me to do so. Let's just put it like this. Miss Cross wasn't a teacher that next year at LPA. All right? So parents, if you're a parent, know your kids, speak up for your kids, and even more, if you're an adult, you got to advocate for yourself too. Because again, I was 13 years old. And she was trying to write me up. Never had been written up before. Never had got detentions, molest, like any of those things. And she stayed like trying to comfort me. But I'm seeing the comments done came through. Y'all, thank y'all for that. Oh my gosh, 7 Shelby, 5 Terry, Jesus Christ. 7th grade. They lie because they don't think we have people that care. And that's what I really feel like it was. She thought I didn't have somebody who's going to have my back. But at that moment was the launching pad for just when I realized, like, oh, I get treated differently because I'm black. Or I'm going to be a target because I'm black. So again, I don't care if people are looting a Target, a large corporation like Target, when we walk around with targets on our back. I don't give a damn. And that's just facts on facts. Kiana says Miss Cresswell was always nice to me with her midget self. She was alright, but again, and I'm going to get into it shortly. People show you who they are sometimes. They really truly show you who they are. What else Aisha said? I remember this. Yeah. Like, I'm telling the truth, right? And shout out to Mama Mash. I'm sure you watching too. I know you remember that situation with all of them, and even Miss McPherson, like having to walk past you and you haven't let her know, like, this ain't my son, and I don't know who this teacher is that y'all think y'all got out here, but y'all need to go ahead and get rid of her. Because it could have been bad. It really could have been. I hated going to 4th period. I remember that because she stayed harassing me. Every little thing I did, it was something. So let's talk about speaking up. Like I was mentioning before, we know who people are. They show you who they are in this time, in these last 8 days, by them not saying anything, right? And I had to give quite bold and real with even my colleagues and where I get paid at. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about this right here. It says saying all lives matters as a response to Black Lives Matters is like saying the fire department should spray down all houses in the neighborhood even though only one house is on fire because all houses matter. Yes, your house matters too, but your house is not on fire. And I feel like anybody who wants to go back and forth with this all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter, they're just literally at this point choosing to not want to understand. They're choosing to not want to understand. We have never said that Black lives matter more than other lives or Black lives matter and nobody else's does. We just simply trying to say that Black lives matter too. That's it. Black lives matter too. And again, I think that George Floyd's death literally is the tip of the iceberg where it's like you can no longer ignore it. You can try to ignore all the other stuff that's under the ocean and under the water. They ain't happened. Well, it might have happened because it is. Or well, we wasn't there, so we don't know. No one can negate that George Floyd should not have died last week. No one can negate me on that or debate with me on that. Now, in addition to that, this right here is what I had to start it off expressing to my colleagues. It says, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And so I go back to when I think of my family, not my family, excuse me, but friends who I almost consider to be family because I've known them for so long and know their parents and know their husbands or their wives or know their kids. When you're choosing to be silent, and it could be because you're not comfortable having to facilitate the dialogue that pops off in your comments up under your posts because you know for a fact some of your friends and family just may be those racists. And so you don't want to have to choose sides. So you say, well, you know what? I'm going to say nothing at all. Well, baby, again, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And for me, silence equals betrayal. So I can't rock with you. I literally before this show started actually typing in certain people's names into my search bar. I said, I don't remember them saying nothing. Let me go and look. And then in addition to me then typing in their names to see if they've said anything regarding this whole issue that's taking place in our country, this racial issues and injustices and inequalities that are taking place in our country, in our nation, they haven't posted anything about it. But they haven't been silent because they've been posting. So those of you who are over organizations, companies, foundations, those of you who are raising black kids, mixed kids, whatever it may be, those of you who are working with persons of color and you have nothing to say, I see you. And I want you to know I see you. And whether this message gets to you or not, just know that I'm putting it out there that I see you and I can't rock with that. I can't. Because silence equals betrayal. You not speaking up is you not taking a stand with me. I don't need you standing behind me. I don't need you standing behind this curtain saying, I support you. Are you calling me on the low and let me know I support you? I need you to be vocal. And even with being vocal just on social media isn't quite enough, but it's a start. Where it really starts is you having conversations, again, at your house or in your friend group, your intimate, your close friends group. You having those conversations with them. It's going to be difficult. You may be a little uncomfortable, but damn, we done been uncomfortable for 400 years. I don't see nothing. I think it's fair. I think it's about time that people get a little uncomfortable too. Join us in being a little uncomfortable. I welcome you to do that. I really, truly do. Now, I'm sorry. I can't even keep up with the comments, y'all, this week. Facts, silence is golden. You speak volumes when being quiet. List people to delete from your friends list. Come on now. You gotta have a whole list, Ish. Kiana said I did that too. They didn't say anything. I deleted them. Yeah, and it's just how I feel. Like, and it's so, and even in addition to, let me go a step further again, because you may be CEOs and COOs or what executive directors of organizations, but even for organizations who ain't speaking up, I see you too. And I made it quite clear to my organization that us not saying something, it's gonna be noticed. And we can't wait to craft a perfect message. We can't do that. We have to make a bold statement. We no longer can toe the line, or individuals can no longer toe the line and play it safe because of politics or pissing off a few important people or whatever it may be. You cannot do that. Again, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And I just think it gets no clearer than that. So speaking of, let's check out this quick Nike video real quick. I thought it was very well done. I really think it was a brilliant video because one, it was simple. It really cost them nothing to make this video, and it still like kind of incorporated their whole brand of just do it. If y'all haven't seen it, let's go ahead and check it out real quick. Shout outs to Nike for that well done video. Reebok, of course, released something too, saying without the black community, Reebok would not exist. America would not exist. Bold statement. You have to lead with a bold statement. We're going to read that one more time. Without the black community, Reebok would not exist. And then they went a step further and said America would not exist. I see no lies. It says, we're not asking you to buy our shoes. We're asking you to walk in someone else's, to stand in solidarity, to find our common ground of humanity. I'm seeing these comments. The comments are like, y'all are giving me life with these comments. Kiana, you wrote one that it says, I told white people that I can't yield to your discomfort because I'm too busy coping with my people's pain. Hello? Our people's pain for centuries. Oh, Navy also got in on this as well. Listing things that we stand for versus the things we will not stand for. Personally, I thought this was a little watered down, but still want to give Old Navy a quick little shout out real quick. Because they did at least say things that they don't stand for, which is racism and inequality, brutality and injustice. Shout outs to Old Navy. Nickelodeon went silent, and they listed the Declaration of Kids' Rights, but they went silent for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in support of justice, equality, and human rights. Netflix put out something. They were quick to put something out, which I, again, appreciated. Wasn't overthought. Didn't need a strategy. But they had a statement. To be silent is to be complicit. Black lives matter. We have a platform and we have a duty to our black members, employees, creators, and talent to speak up. Shout outs to Netflix. And then also, of course, Apple came in yesterday, released a whole playlist. For those who did not get the song that for Talent Artist this week was Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness. But, you know, they created a whole playlist, which was cool. That was great. But and it was very well curated, too. I must say, I got the playlist and it was very well curated, Apple. But then all of that is great. But this tweet came from Brandy Jeter that says, thank you for your Black Lives Matter graphic. May I please see a picture of your executive leadership team and company board? Y'all want to talk about it? Do we want to talk about it? Do I walk away from it? Do we talk about it? Let me see in the comments. Somebody tell me, did we talk about it? Can we say let's talk about it? Again, thank you for your Black Lives Matter graphic. May I please see a picture of your executive leadership team and company board? Drop it to the comments. Right? Give me some thumbs up if we want to talk about it. Come on now. Let me know, because I can move on if we don't want to talk about it. But I want to talk about it. But if y'all don't want to talk about it, drop me some thumbs down. But if you want to talk about it, hit that thumb. Send me some thumbs up and emojis so I can see it. Send the thumbs up emojis, whatever color you choose to send them in. Because yeah, I'm real curious. I'm curious. You know, when I think about companies that I've worked for in the past. It seems like there's only in present. Let me sure I'm speaking correctly. Not only past but present. There are times it seems where we only get to a certain level. Just a certain level. And you know, Solange put out that amazing album called "A Seat at the Table," which you can find a couple of her songs on that Apple playlist that was just put out yesterday. But it seems like we get stuck and hindered at a certain level. And I'll be confused because I'll be sometimes looking. I think about Michelle Obama when she was saying, you know, she's been at some of the largest tables or whatnot around the world with some of the supposedly be smartest, most powerful tables around the world. Most powerful tables. And she's realized that these people just really aren't that smart. They're not that smart. So how did they get here? Is the question. And so I just want to say, I also, as much as I appreciate all them companies for listing how they with us and stand with us and what they stand for, and without black people, we wouldn't be XYZ. But I'm with my girl Brandy Jeter here, or Brandy Riley, whatever your name is. I'm going off your handle. May I see a picture of your executive leadership team and your company board? Because I know one where I don't even think it's a 10% make up the executive leadership team. But the demographics that they serve look a little different. Now, you know, I see we want to talk about it. So I'm just, again, I just be curious. You know, it seems like, again, we can only get to certain levels and then we get halted for some unknown reason. We fine with doing all the frontline work, being all out in the field and doing XYZ. But when it comes down to start elevating, it's, well, you're not ready yet. Well, how are you ready? What path did you take to get here? Because I know motherfuckers with PhDs and masters and some people who ain't even got 8 degree. So I always think back to Papa Pope and Olivia Pope, season I think 3 or 4. When he told her you have to work twice as hard to have half of what they got. And I see no lies. I just don't see no lies. Because even when I think about the actual 44th President of the United States of America and 44th First Lady of the United States of America, most educated residents of the White House ever. I'm just going to sit that down. I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. But let's also go ahead and get into these things right here. So these places that I'm stopping to eat. And shout out to Troy_Drippy and my friends chat group for sending this out. Of course, Chick-fil-A is already on this list for me personally. But, you know, and Lord knows I love them waffle fries and spicy chicken sandwiches. With Taco Bell, Burger King, Popeyes. Who Lord knows it hurt because I love me a good 3-piece spicy with Cajun rice and Cajun fries. Panera Bread, Pizza Hut. Whatever this New York restaurant is. Oh, Bubba Gump's hurt my heart too. That jambalaya. Oh, God. Del Fresco's, Joe's Crab Shacks, and of course Wendy's. They all donated over $400,000 to Trump's reelection. We good. Y'all canceled too. Y'all, let's not eat from those places no more. Because I'm good on those as well. I'm not. But what I can suggest is for those who are not in Atlanta, but those who are also in Atlanta, when you come here, let's start frequenting more of these places. I can tell you which ones I've been to that are good. La Petite Marche is good. Atlanta Breakfast Club is straight. But it's a whole list of places I'm going to have to go. Miss Icy's is definitely good. Shout out to my girl Moore. We went there for her birthday. MD, we went there a lot. Busy Bee Cafe is good. Harold's Chicken is good. Fins and Feathers is a good little turn up. We was there for New Year's Day. Sublime Donuts is straight. It's a lot of places I know I'm going to be eating at when this whole pandemic is over. Let me tell y'all that for sure. Pascal's, whatever it's called off of North Side. That's show good. They got some good fried chicken, okay? The original hot dog factory, of course, is Dennis, Portia's Baby Daddy spot. But we got plenty of places we can be hitting up. This is where we need to be going. And the list so long, we got a whole nother list right here, too. Some places was repeats. But like the Grill Village, great spot for brunch. Sweet Food Lounge, I've been there for a tournament, not for food. Tom, Dick, and Hank, heard of them, haven't been there yet. Crab Queens, haven't been there yet. STT Place, Blame It on Quay. So all these different places, and I'll likely share them to the actual page. So if you ever are visiting Atlanta and want to hit a black-owned place, go to these places and support them. Lead the Pizza Huts and Burger Kings and Wendy's and Popeyes included along. Go to Pascal's instead for some fried chicken because it's so good. For real, it's good. And they got some good peach cobbler too at Pascal's. Yeah, they do. They really do. But yeah, I'm checking out these places from here on out. So a lot of these places are new to me, so I'm looking forward to it. But in addition to that, my show is going to go over. Goddamn. In addition to that, Helen's Hot Chicken is great, and they just got their liquor license, so I will be at Helen soon too, Terry. Shout outs to that. Let's talk about this right here too. Black owned does not mean cheaper or discounted. And I'm speaking directly to the black folks. Unlearn that. I'm real big on, even if it's my friend's business, I'm not asking for no discount. I'm not expecting a discount. I'm paying full price. And in addition to paying full price, depending on what type of business you have, if it's a service you're providing, I'm likely going to also tip. Okay? That's just what it needs to be. Now, however, this is what I don't like about some black-owned businesses. I ain't with it when I can't never figure out what your prices are. Now, I've made that clear on probably other episodes and even in just personal conversations with friends and family. When you charging me one thing and then charging somebody else a completely different thing, and I'm paying significantly more, I'm not supporting you anymore. That's just what it is going to be. That's just straight up. I don't believe in that. I don't support that. But I also feel like as a community, we have to, my girl Jarika was saying earlier in one of her posts, that you cannot always want to say, well, black owned businesses don't have good customer service. She called people out to into the paint on the mat and said, yeah, and there are also there are non-person of color who own businesses who also don't have great skills in customer service. But y'all still support them. Y'all ain't complaining. But when it's one of your own, you trying to knock their hustle. I see y'all with that too. I see y'all. I see it. I'm not gonna down somebody, like, especially with a black owned business, like they might not have the funds truly to train people or the time to even like let them learn their ways and get their footing before we start saying we're not gonna support them. But again, I'm real big on, if I can't find your prices and know your prices, I can't with you because I don't like that. I'll give you the example I use with everybody else. I once let somebody wash my car because I heard it just started a car wash business, a mobile car wash business. When I found out I was paying double what two other people that I knew was paying, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm good. Nah, I can't support that. Not if I'm paying double. Nah, there ain't no family or friends. Shit. I ain't with that." When I found out I was paying double, I was like, "Oh no, I'm good. That once they ain't cleaning that well, no way. I would have been happy to support, but I can't support when I know you charging me double and charging them $10, and you charging me 20, and I'm giving you 25. Yeah, I don't play them type of games. Nah, I ain't with it. So let's keep it moving real quick from there, cause I want to get into this Toni Morrison video that I saw on Cam's page. But depending on, I don't know what you may have going on this weekend, but if you are choosing to go out and protest in one of the many cities that is taking place across this nation, here's a list of things that you should wear, from like jackets, goggles, of course, face masks, because y'all, Corona is still out there, y'all. We are not past it. Please, please, please wear your mask. Tie your hair up and potentially even consider wearing heat-resistant gloves. Things that you should also bring, or things that you should bring, are like a bottle of water, some snacks, earplugs, a washcloth, of course, protest signs, first aid kit and bandages, and of course, like your cash and change and even your ID. Things that you should probably consider leaving at home, which again, people have so that they can like film what might be going, injustices that might be taking place, their cell phones. But leave like the jury at home, leave of course like weapons at home, and of course even potentially leave your contact lenses at home in case like because of tear gas and things, wear just glasses. And then also, if you don't necessarily be out protesting and you want to educate yourself, they are playing Just Mercy on all streaming platforms, including like YouTube, Vudu, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. I believe Netflix will have it soon if they don't already. I don't think, maybe not Netflix. But they're playing this film regarding the injustices that were taking place back in the day. And Michael B. Jordan is playing the lawyer who's over the, oh gosh, the Equal Justice Initiative, I believe it is, in Birmingham, Alabama. And this guy, of course, was accused. So, with Jamie Foxx's character, I'm forgetting the names, I'm sorry. But y'all can check this out on all streaming platforms as well this weekend. But then in addition to that, I want to get into this Toni Morrison video, and I'm just going to let this ride, and yeah, we can go from there.
I take your race away. And there you are, all strung out, and all you got is your little self. And what is that? What are you without racism? Are you any good? Are you still strong? You still smart? You still like yourself? I mean, these are the questions. It's part of it is, yes, the victim, how terrible it has been for black people.
You don't like that.
I'm not a victim. I refuse to be one.
And the victim is the other person who is morally inferior and
that's
who
a
has
serious
to hold
question.
on to
Of course.
racism
if you
to
have to
somehow
hold, that's
for his or her own self-esteem and definition.
If you can only be tall because somebody's on their knees, then you have a serious problem. And my feeling is white people have a very, very serious problem. And they should start thinking about what they can do about it. Take me out of it.
Rest in peace, Toni Morrison. When she said, if the only way you can feel tall is when someone is on their knees, there's a problem. I'm going to sit that there. So again, I go back to non-people of color. You need to educate yourselves. And I think that first step is to realize that you're privileged and recognize your privilege and fix it. Fix this system. Fix this system. And it says here that it's a privilege to educate yourself about racism instead of experiencing it. The fact that you get to choose to educate yourself versus having to experience it and walk through it and live it, is a privilege in itself that you get to just educate yourself about it and figure out how you can be a part of the solution. So like my girl Amanda Seals would say, do your research and then read a book. You want to know how you can help? Google it. Google ways you can help. I'm going to share some ways, but Google it how you can help. If you want to know what you should read, Google what you should read. Just type it in Google. What should I read to learn about the black plight in America or in this nation or racism in America and things as such like that? Terry said, I just finished listening to Rasatep. I don't know how to say it, Terry. My bad. I'm gonna write it down though. One of 2 short stories she wrote. Oh, okay, from Toni Morrison. Okay, got you. But yeah, educate yourselves, and us too. We need to educate ourselves completely and wholly as well. But for non-people of color, specifically white Americans, read books and do your research on the internet. And even if you do feel like you need to talk to somebody, these are ways you can be an active listener. Focus on listening without judgment. Try to focus on hearing the story rather than rushing to form an opinion on it. Biggest problem with communication is people listen to reply versus listening to understand. So again, focus on listening without judging and not trying to rush to form an opinion on it. 2, again, like I said before, recognize your privilege. Recognize how it impacts what you believe. Because your experiences are your experiences, but recognize that you have a privilege in this country. Don't interrupt. Ooh, Lord, look, I can't read. Don't interrupt. Don't try to steer the conversation to where you want it to go. And likely you're steering where you want it to go because of what it says up top. Be willing to be uncomfortable. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. But be willing to be uncomfortable. When you're truly listening, you're likely to hear things that may challenge your worldview or previously held belief. Again, your experiences are your experiences. Don't give platitudes. Don't tell people that things are going to be okay or attempt to talk them out of what they are feeling. And again, this is why I'm telling y'all, show up as your full self and be authentic. And when people ask you how you doing, release. Release how you feeling on them. They asked you. Release on them. Don't give them no generic answer no more. Release on them. And then lastly, it says, ask what folks need from you. Sometimes people want space to talk and be heard. You don't necessarily need to have the answers. Just show up as someone who can listen to what they are saying. Y'all, I have to be honest. I felt heard this week at work. I not only necessarily felt heard, and you know what the craziest part is too, I want to touch on, is that I was second guessing myself. I honestly felt like at one point Monday night, I was like, I said too much on that call. Oh, Lord, I said too much. And then Tuesday morning, I woke up, oh, I shouldn't have sent that email. I shouldn't have said that in that email. But by Tuesday afternoon, I started getting calls and how much it was appreciated and how much it was needed. So I cannot stress it enough, y'all. When somebody asks you how you doing or somebody asks you what you think, let them know and release exactly how you feel and release exactly what you think. Now, of course, do it in the most professional way as you possibly maybe can, but at the same time, be your authentic self and let God use you. That's what I'm gonna say. Let the Lord use you. And then lastly, I just want to simply say this as well as we get ready to wrap this show up. Yeah, don't hold back. Well, actually, if you release, just be cognizant of what's coming out your mouth. But they need to be able to understand it. So I know for myself, I tend to talk fast and get passionate with what I'm saying, but I take a moment to try to be clear in mind before I release. And that's why I said I intentionally use the word release instead of unleash. Because to unleash is completely different, because to unleash we become unhinged almost in a sense, right? So release is what I would highly encourage everyone to do when somebody asks you how you are doing. Release. And even if you got to cry, because even if you got to sob a little bit, and literally release from your body, not just from your mental, but from your body, do that. I encourage you to do so. But this right here just simply said this, because I'm still struggling with how do I be a part of the solution? How am I the solution even, right? Especially particularly again after Killer Mike's press conference interview. And again, if you have not listened to Killer Mike's press conference from last Friday, Google Killer Mike speech or press conference or protest or whatever it is, and I'm sure you'll find the videos. But it says here, what up Randy, what up Ashley, what up Tristal? Resistance is not a one-lane highway. Maybe your lane is protesting, maybe your lane is organizing, maybe your lane is counseling, maybe your lane is art activism, maybe your lane is surviving the day. Do not feel guilty for not occupying every lane We need all of them. And this does not just speak to Black Americans or people of color. This is for everybody across this nation and across this world. However you best feel like you can be a part of the solution, be that part of the solution. But I tell people very quickly, it all starts at home. You have to have conversations at home. You have to have conversations in your friend group. You have to have conversations with your extended family. Because again, when I don't see people posting or giving their opinion or letting their stance be known of where they stand at with what's going on over these last 8 days or so in our nation, in our alleged great nation, I see you. I see you. And when I say I see you, I know you're not really about me. You can't possibly love me like you say you love me, or even hell like me for that matter. Not if you're okay with the injustices that's taking place. Not if you're okay with people who look like me being oppressed. Not if you're okay with people not only being oppressed but being murdered who look like me. You ain't for me if that's how if you okay with that and being silent. Because you too concerned about who might be in your comments or who might be in your DMs responding. I want to give a shout out to those who I've reached out to, and said like I see you too, or those who tag me and post the Laurens, the Ashley Bushman's Hildebrand. I see you join. Give a shout out to you, my girl Saleha, Marissa, Lauren Deal. Like it's so many, Celie. Like it's so many people who like I can give shout outs to, but there are also too many who I can name who I haven't seen anything from. And you've been posting on social. Now, I would give you your credit if I hadn't seen you posting on social anything, but when I see you posting other bullshit and you're not addressing what's going on in our country, I'll never look at you the same again. And that's just that. I really won't. Asha says, love that I'm trying to do what I can while at home with my little guys, and you can believe I'm having the hard conversation with my 5-year-old. And again, Ashley, I rock with you, girl. Like and you couldn't imagine how much you sparked me even thinking about those who I haven't seen anything from, and I am extremely grateful that you are even in the school system, that you are teaching, not only just your boys at home, but your kids, students in your classrooms. To know that you are a teacher, that means like so much to me. Because you're beyond, in my opinion, like an ally, and I'm speaking directly to you, Ashley. At this point, you're beyond an ally. You're an advocate, and I can't thank you enough for that. I really, truly can't. What up, Jess Miller? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm feeling myself about to get emotional as well. I know I've gone over time at this point, but I want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me and watching and engaging and commenting. I'm sorry I couldn't read all the comments this time. It was just so many. So I thank y'all for sharing the stream out and participating and engaging with each other. But y'all just stay, whatever it takes to just recenter yourself, breathe. I'm not even saying we're gonna get through this, but change is coming. Change is coming. Officers getting locked up, they being charged, and with the way things have been going, I truly believe there will be convictions that take place. Because if I know nothing else, I do believe this. If people think it's been some shit, and I'm cussing at this point, if they think it's been some shit because of George Floyd's death, I want the world to imagine what it's going to be if those officers aren't convicted to the highest extent. And I'm gonna leave that there. Thank y'all again for watching. I really appreciate y'all. I will see y'all next week. And I'm sorry, it was just all there was nothing else I could possibly talk about. This episode would have been tone deaf if I did not address what all is taking place in our nation, and the entire show be that way. Again, that's why I didn't even do a spill, pull no emails, and just express my experience. And again, y'all just stay up, bless up, stay safe, put on your mask if you're going out and doing the protest. Just stay safe, y'all. Please, Lord, stay safe and keep up the good fight. For those of y'all who look like me, those of y'all who may not look like me, but those of us who all are part of this human race and know we can do better as a society. And even if we don't get to see it come together in our generation, in our children's generation, or our children's generation, we will be the change, and let's make it happen. Love y'all. Stay up. Bless up. Live bold. Love loud. Laugh hard, and don't stop. Get it. Good night, y'all.